Welcome to the 5-Minute English Vocabulary Podcast. My name is Herbert Lee, and I'll be your host. Now you can easily improve your vocabulary without memorizing long lists of boring words, and still develop a powerful command of English. You'll learn the origin of words, or etymology, told as easy-to-remember stories. You'll also hear some jokes, and learn some idioms as well. Episode 5. Season 2, Part 1, How to Improve Your Vocabulary. This is an article that the International Paper Company used in their advertising during the 1970s. It's very useful information on how to improve your vocabulary. International Paper Company asked Tony Randall, who is on the American Heritage Dictionary Usage Panel and loves words as much as acting, to tell how he has acquired his enormous vocabulary. Words can make us laugh, cry, go to war, fall in love. Rudyard Kipling called words the most powerful drug of mankind. If they are, I'm a hopeless addict, and I hope to get you hooked, too. Whether you're still in school or you head up a large corporation, the better command you have of words, the better chance you have of saying exactly what you mean, of understanding what others mean, and of getting what you want in the world. English is the richest language with the largest vocabulary on earth, over 1 million words. You can express shades of meaning that aren't even possible in other languages. For example, you can differentiate between sky and heaven. The French, Italians, and Spanish cannot. Yet the average adult has a vocabulary of only 30,000 to 60,000 words. Imagine what we're missing. So here are 5 pointers that help me learn and remember whole families of words at a time. They may not look easy and won't be at first, but if you stick with them, you'll find they work. Get a dictionary handy, as you'll be looking up some words in the dictionary. What's the first thing to do when you see a word you don't know? Try to guess the meaning of the word from the way it's used. You can often get at least part of a word's meaning just from how it's used in a sentence. That's why it's so important to read as much as you can, different kinds of things, magazines, books, newspapers you don't normally read. The more you expose yourself to new words, the more words you'll pick up, just by seeing how they're used. For instance, say you run across the word manacle, M-A-N-A-C-L-E. The manacles have been on John's wrist for 30 years. Only one person has a key, his wife. You have a good idea of what manacles are just from the context of the sentence. But let's find out exactly what the word means and where it comes from. The only way to do this, and to build an extensive vocabulary fast, is to go to the dictionary. How lucky you are. Shakespeare couldn't. There wasn't an English dictionary in his day. So you go to the dictionary. Please note, don't let dictionary abbreviations put you off. The front tells you what they mean and even has a guide to pronunciation. Tip number 2, look it up. Here's the definition of manacle, M-A-N-A-C-L-E, in the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language. Manacle, usually plural, meaning number 1, a device for confining the hands, usually consisting of 2 metal rings that are fastened about the wrists and joined by a metal chain, a handcuff. Meaning number 2, anything that confines or restrains. Manacles, manacling, manacles. 1, to restrain with manacles. 2, to confine or restrain if with manacles, also known as shackle or fetter. Middle English is M-A-N-I-C-L-E, from Old French, from Latin, manacula, little hands or handle. Diminutive of manus, hand. See man in the appendix. The first definition fits here, a device for confining the hands, usually consisting of two metal rings that are fastened about the wrists and joined by a metal chain, a handcuff. Well, that's what you thought it meant, but that's the idea behind the word. What about its roots? To really understand the word, you need to know. Here's where the detective work begins, and the fun. Tip number 3, dig the meaning out by the roots. The root is the basic part of the word, its heritage, its origin. Most of our roots come from the Latin and Greek words at least 2,000 years old, which come from even earlier Indo-European tongues. So this is the end of part 1. Come back next week for part 2. Until then, it's Herbert Lee saying bye for now.